Yo, welcome back to the last video before round 18 kicks off, the last of the major bye rounds. So yeah, one of the last weeks we have 13 playing, so this round and next round. I'm in a pretty sweet spot this round. I only need a centre, and need is a strong word, like I could easily roll out with 12, but yeah, Couchman is out for a long time, more than happy to trade him, and all I need is a centre. So still don't really know what I wanted to do. I had Sagranis locked in at the start of the week, thinking he was absolutely making that centre position for the Dragons. It didn't happen. Then I had pretty much locked in Jack Bird, and now he's rumoured to be out. To be honest, I haven't checked today if there's any update or if those rumours have become more founded, but yeah, I'm back in a pickle. I'm actually really, not impressed, I'm really happy with my team construction. So when I look at it, I've got 6 trades left, and then you get another 8 in round 20, so that's 14 trades. I only have 7 guys I need to trade out. So I'm not trading out Jed Stewart because he's my cash down, one of my probably 2. I'll probably get another one either this round or moving forward. So yeah, he's essentially a keeper in my team, like as the cash down. Like he's going to be in my end of season team. Obviously not a keeper, but I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so I've got Jaden Brayley out, not Dylan Lucas, Tallis Duncan, so that's 2, Ruben Garrick, Aitken, probably at this stage, Cook, Couchman obviously, and Latu Fainu. So that's 7 guys I need to trade out. So that's actually in a really good position. Looking at other content creators, looking at other teams around my rank, I guess, or like even you guys in the comment section, it sounds like most people have more than that. So only needing to trade 7 of my guys and having 14 trades at my disposal is actually a pretty good position. I've set up well for round 18 and 19, like only needing a centre. Heaps of you guys need a few. So I think I'm actually in a really decent spot, but I don't want to like settle for this round and just roll out with 12. It's just not how I like to play, but I just don't like any of the centres on the board. But given my team construction is actually in a solid position, I can do a little bit more this week. So yeah, I'll be bringing in a centre. I don't know who. I don't know whether to go a high upside guy in someone like a Dewey. Like he averaged 60 in 5/8, which is just crazy to me. And the sample size is huge. I expect the kick meters to come down slightly, but maybe not with Latu Fainu in the team. Someone, I think it was Lockie, who pointed out in the comments that the Tigers do play in New Zealand next week. So that's a Sunday game. So it is a bit of a turnaround. But if Luai's not 100%, there's every chance that I just don't fly him out there, and then Dewey does get that 2-week runway. I do have Latu Fainu, so I talked about not wanting to double up on both, and I wouldn't suggest you guys do it because it's like a lose-lose situation either way. If Dewey stays in the 5/8 spot, Latu Fainu is worse off. And then if you pick up Dewey as well, and then Latu stays in the team, Dewey's back at centre, then you lose there. Like obviously you gain Latu back, but yeah, you cannot possibly win. Whereas if you're only rolling out with Latu, then you don't have to hope for one of the other. Like you just want Latu in there. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of who I'm considering at this stage. I'm also thinking maybe Marky Mark. Before I roll into the other options, thanks heaps for the engagement on yesterday's video, by the way. Yeah, I obviously asked for comments, whatever. Just ultra engagement. And yeah, that video has like double my most likes on a video. It's the best video in weeks in terms of views. Like we've almost hit 1,000 already and gained like 20 subscribers. So yeah, thanks heaps for doing that. I don't always ask for that sort of stuff, but you guys show out when I do. So yeah, really appreciate that. But yeah, I could get Marky Mark, Nwangani Tuase. I don't love him as an option, but his ceiling is probably the highest in the centres this week. My thing is I don't want to pay that much. Like I have 340k in the bank and I'm trading Couchman out. So I'm going to be gaining more money either way. But I kind of wanted to go down to a cash down and then have 700k next week because these were my planned trades, like Garrick to Cleary and then Aitken to Farnworth. And that only leaves me with like 200k. So if I did get Nwangani Tuase, I don't have that flexibility. Then it's like a lot cheaper there going down. Like I'm not interested in any of the other top guys. I wish Tommy Turbo was a dual because he would be a surefire thing. But there's no one else I'm looking at. Like Dewey's 468k, so that still does give me some flexibility. I think I'd have like 180k left over if I did those 2 trades. Like 8k left over, sorry, because you minus 180k. So it's very close. Maybe not even actually. Yeah, probably not even. I probably wouldn't be able to afford them. And I don't have to get those guys, but my plan was just to get through these round 18 and round 19. Round 18 with a half decent team, but it actually sounds like it's a pretty strong team at the moment. And then, just get the premiums in, like the premiums in, like Cleary and Herbie, who are the two best I don't own at the moment, earlier. But I don't know if I do get a more expensive centre, if I can do that. Like Jackson Purdue, gross. Like all the guys in the maybe like 350 to 500k range aren't going to be keepers. They're not actually going to make that cash generation, and they're just going to be stuck in my team. And I've been so disciplined in not getting those sort of guys in this year. Like I said, I've got 7 guys I can trade out, but my team is actually in such a strong position. Moving forward, when I get those keepers in round 19 and 20, I'm going to have Jaden Brayley as my 18th man, who is hopefully going to produce keeper level scores. Then Latu Fainu as my 19th, and then 2 cash downs. Like a lot of other teams out there have 4, 5, 6 mid-rangers still, but mid-rangers that aren't producing at keeper levels. Like all my mid-rangers are guys like Tallis Duncan, Aitken, Cook, Garrick, guys that are on the brink of keepers, and I could keep them if I wanted to. And last week I offloaded Hines and Hosking because they were my only 2 choices, which is in a pretty good spot if they're your best 2 trade candidates. So I don't know, like Jack Wyden, sort of appealing. He averages 48 at centre. But then I would have just loved there to be a pure cash down, and there's not. Like there's Kane Bradley, but I guess he is not a high upside, but he has a decent scoring potential if he scores well, because he's in the Storm team against the Cowboys. Like they're big favourites. He could easily knock over a try. I think he's about $1.90 on Sportsbet, and then you add like 20% VIG for like bookies, but it's all at like 20 to 25%. So he's probably like a 38 to 42% chance of scoring. So if he doesn't, he's probably getting a 15 to 20 in fantasy. So I don't love that. His upside is probably like a 35, 40 anyway, unless he scores a couple. But then there's no one else that cheap. Like Bird is perfect for me, but not perfect because he's still a little bit expensive. But out of all the options, he is the best available. But if he's not playing, it's not good. Like I've just wasted a trade, and also they play the next day after the Dragons, so I'm going to have to lock that in beforehand. And maybe we find out in the 24-hour updates, so it's okay. Like I'll know by then, hopefully. But again, maybe not. Maybe he's a late out if he's like a 50-50. And then I've just wasted a trade and he's dead weight to me. So, I don't know. There's no other appealing options really. So it's probably between them. Maybe Simi Sasangi, because I think he'll score a 50. But again, he's going to go back to a 20-minute role on the bench and he's going to lose money. So he's effectively going to be a cash down because he'll probably go down to like 300k at some stage unless I offload him in the next 2 weeks, which is so gross. So I don't know. I really don't know what I want to do in centers. But I'll decide that later. Like I'm not going to lock that in this video because I just have no way of doing that. I could get like a Karapani who's going to make decent coin, I guess. Like out of all these mid, like 400k guys, he's probably going to make 70k. But it takes 115 and it'll be terrible. And I don't like him as a fantasy option. So I don't know. Interestingly enough, Fiketti is the highest owned guy, like biggest play on the Who's Hot list, I guess. Like that's crazy to me. I think he's a great option, but most of us had mids and edges, so I'm surprised he is up there. And all of these guys really aren't in the outside back position. So I guess it shows how split people are, because a lot of you need wingers and winger fullback and centers, and none of them are cracking the top of the list. So I guess it shows how sporadic they are, the choices are. But I don't know. The other things I'm going to do, I'm just going to safety loop a few. I need to sort out this bench. I was just doing it on the way home. And it's not perfect yet. Like I need to work that out, do all the calculations of where everyone should be. But I'm pretty much safety looping Cook because he plays early enough. And the guy I don't want, but a cash down option is Tristan Hope. If Cook scores like a 15 or 20 or something, I know Hope has a decent chance of scoring well and is a pure cash down. So I'll just use that and then probably not get a centre. Again, I might, but I can figure that out. But that would probably, I don't know, I'd probably do Aitken to Hope if I need to. I don't want to, like hopefully Cook just scores a 40 plus and then that's fine, but the safety loop is there. Jed Stewart is the main one, so I'm okay. If he scores a 30, I probably won't do anything. Like a 30 is gross, but in this sort of week, I'm okay with it. I don't really want to force a trade. But if he scores badly Aitken's on the chopping block for him. I can't do it for Couchman because they play against each other, but if Jed scores like a 20, I think I'm going to bring in Tommy Turbo or Pappenhausen, and I think it's going to be Pappy. He's priced at 44, averaging about 50 or so, and has that potential where he could be like a borderline keeper, which I don't love because I'm trading Garrick out, who's about the same and is also just as underpriced, but I think it makes a little bit of sense in terms of that points boost, hopefully this week. If Jed scores like a 20, like you'd expect Pappy to score bigger, even though he has the bad games in him. But looking at my positional depth from now on, I've got 5 winger fullbacks, but I have 4 keepers. Do I actually have 6? Yeah, I think it's actually 6. 6 winger fullbacks, but one of them is Jed Stewart, one of them is Garrick, who I'm trading next week. And I've only got 4 keepers. Not only 4 is good, but one of them is Kirez, who I can play at centre. One of them is Jaden Campbell, who I can play in the halves. So I'm not locked in. I do believe Drinkwater is a keeper, but I don't really want to rely on him every week. So if I do want to loop some weeks, I can, like with Drinky. If they play earlier or Pappy plays earlier, I can, assuming I have someone on a bye most weeks, that will be the case, or cash down who doesn't play most weeks. I will be able to loop those guys and then not rely too heavily on them. So if Drinkwater scores a 20 in the earlier game, I'm not locked into that score. And I think that adds more value for them. I could always do that anyway with 4 keepers, but again, you're going to have weeks where you need their flexibility, like in the duel where Campbell's playing at half, Kiraz is playing in centre. So yeah, I think adding Pappy is actually okay for that reason. I know the Cowboys are versus the Storm. I think this is their second time now, so they won't be versing again. So they're never going to be in a scenario where they play in the same game. So I'll always have that loop option available, assuming I have one player who's not playing. So I do like that, knowing I'm going to have 17 keepers in my team in 2 weeks, having that flexibility. With Brayley as my 18th man who is going to score at keeper level, I don't necessarily need loops week to week. So having one in winger fullback is actually super valuable. So if Jed Stewart scores badly, I'm more than happy to bring in Pappy. And I think I prefer him over Tommy. Tommy could do the same thing, like since he has high upside and low floor. But I think I'd just rather spend the money on Pappy, who's also underpriced, because Tommy's probably going to get injured at some stage, knowing his history. And obviously I don't play fantasy with the expectation someone gets injured, but you've got to take, like, they're calculated risk, right? Like, that's why I didn't want Radley. There are guys who are way more injury prone than others. And Pappy, again, he's also injury prone, but he looks a bit more healthy this year as opposed to Tommy. So, yeah, more than happy to bring a winger fullback in. Again, I've only got 7 guys I want to trade, so I can use 1 or 2 luxury trades. And that's one I'm probably happy to make, knowing I'm probably going to get 30 points out of it if Jed Stewart scores like a 20. So, yeah, I'm happy to do that. I don't need Aitken, so he's on the chopping block regardless this week. Like, he's going to be my guy I'm going to use as a safety, like if any of my safety loops score badly. Got Eli Katoa there as a safety loop. If he scores badly, I'd probably just take Aitken's score and that's fine. Like, I don't need to trade him out for anyone, but I kind of do want Blake Steep. So that is also into my thinking there. And then Latu Fainu, he's probably, apart from Jed, he's probably the guy who potentially may score the lowest. The only guy who plays after him is DCE or Humphreys. So I probably won't want to do anything there. But if he's so highly owned and a lot of people will be playing him unless you've got Savala and someone else. But yeah, if he scores badly, it's going to affect a lot of people. And I do like doing my safety loops on higher ownership guys. So yeah, Aiken's perfect for it because I don't view him as a keeper anymore. He's just moving to centre too much and he hasn't been awesome in the edge position. And he plays in the last game. So I have every single game to decide, apart from that last one, obviously, and I don't have any other Manly boys really, apart from Garrick, who I'm not going to trade. So, yeah, I think my team's actually set up quite well. I'm hoping my guys do well, which means they won't, like my safety loops, because round 12 and 15, I wanted them to score badly, and they scored amazingly. This round, I want them to score well, so they'll probably score terrible, but that's just the way fantasy works sometimes. But, yeah, I've been on a pretty decent run most weeks, so I'm not complaining, obviously. I'm just talking about, it's just always the way it goes, like Murphy's Law, sorry. But yeah, I don't know what to do at centre. I'm not playing with 12. I have the trades and the team construction that will allow me to burn a trade on a centre. I just got to decide which one. I'm hoping we get word on Jack Bird, that rhymes, before Couchman's game. But if not, I mean, I could always do it for Aitken and then, I don't know. what I'm going to do in centres. They're so gross. Like, I can't believe these are the options. that are available. Like Jack Bird is the one I want, and he's such a disgusting option anyway. And like I'm spending so much time hoping he plays. Like it's just crazy. But I don't know who else has like high upside. Stafford Toa, I guess, but he's so expensive. Like I could get Mark Nwangani. Is it worth getting a duel? Because if I go, no, because I have to play him at centre. I was thinking, because then I could also loop him with Jed Stewart, but I could do that actually. So if I move Jed Stewart up, I go Couchman to Nwangani Tuase. Jed Stewart scores badly, he could play there, and then I could wait on Bird being half decent. It's actually not a bad play. A duel's actually not a bad play at all. Does that work? So I'm doing this all on the fly obviously. Like you guys seem to like this. You probably don't like me stumbling along for an hour like an idiot trying to figure out what the fuck my loop options are doing. But I think there is actually some merit to getting a duel in. Obviously, I have till tomorrow to decide, so that's fine. The game tonight is so gross for fantasy. Like, obviously, the only guy is really Preston that most people have, Karapani a little bit. But obviously, Walshy and Kiraz are both out. So, yeah, it's kind of a gross game to start the round off. I have no one playing, so yeah, I think that might be something I consider, getting a dual position in as insurance for Jed Stewart. But again, if I just get a centre anyway, like I need to trade someone in, so probably not. I don't know. I think I am kind of excited by Nwangani Tuase's potential because he has had massive scores and most of them have been on the wing. But yeah, if I'm looking for a high upside guy, he's probably it, right? But I don't view him as a keeper. But I guess he's like the same price as Pappy, but yeah, I just trust Pappy more. Adam Dewey is so fun, I think, as a 1 week high upside guy, but I guess I could do Simi Sasangi as well. So yeah, I'll figure that out another time. I've got a 12-hour day in the office tomorrow all by myself, so I'll probably spend like 6 of those hours trying to figure out what centre I want. But yeah, again, I'm probably bringing in a winger fullback, assuming Jed Stewart scores badly. Then I'm down to 4 trades, but I'll have so much money in the bank. So it's fine. It is what it is. I'm pretty excited for the next couple of weeks. If I can hold rank this round, I'm more than excited by that because my team is in such a strong position next week. I've got, I'll go up to this one. I've got 12 playing already, plus Haas, assuming he plays. Like, I don't know, he's not training well, but I know like the temperatures are really low, which are bad for that sort of injury, like the soft tissue ones. So I think he might back up. Like we probably didn't expect him to back up in game 2 and then he pumped out 100. So kind of expecting him to, but then I have 13 if he does. But I am getting in premiums next week anyway. So if he doesn't back up, I'm getting a Yo, Tino, Carrigan, whoever I want instead. So not concerned about that. I've got Brayley there so I can trade Cook if I need to. So I'm in a really strong spot. So much money in the bank, assuming I go down to someone like a Bird. And yeah, I should start to fly up the ranks over the next couple of weeks. Like round 19, 20 is when I probably make my mark. Obviously, I had a really good round last round, and then this round maybe hold rank and then fly up in round 19, 20 is the plan. Fantasy doesn't always go to plan, but I think my team's in a really strong position. I've only got 1.2 trades more than the average, but I think just in terms of my team construction, it's actually really strong considering my team value isn't as good. So I've managed to avoid a lot of those mid-ranges that most people have. So yeah, I'll wrap it up there. Let us know what trades you guys are making. I've kind of got mine locked in, but I just need to sort out my loop options to maximize that so I don't have any more fuck-ups because I have done a couple of silly things this year. But yeah, good luck this round, everyone. Hopefully you guys have someone playing in tonight's game because otherwise it's going to be pretty boring. But yeah, enjoy, and we'll check in probably tomorrow morning with the recap from tonight. So we'll see you then. Bye.